everyone, I'm Kaitlin.
And I'm Jillian.
And we are the hosts of the OK Drama podcast.
We're two friends recap and break down K-dramas one episode at a time.
Get your hands up.
Oh my god.
Terrence.
Terrence.
Alex and I have been doing that to each other lately.
Oh my god.
So funny. Okay. Well, guys, we're here to talk about more Lovestruck in the City.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's getting pretty good. It's intriguing.
It's definitely the sort of thing where it's the kind of tea I like to know.
Yes.
There's like a car outside. I'm sorry, it's giving like a weird-ass fucked up buzz.
That's okay.
So I think that's going to be audible in this intro. It sounds like someone's playing music from their car and the bass is really loud or something. Like,
okay.
It's the type of sound that bothers my little ears, honestly. Yeah, so it's the breakup tea.
Yeah.
That like you're really interested in what's happening. Like I have a friend who was dating this person. I'll name names later.
Okay.
Randomly started dating this person, and then they were kind of annoying on Facebook, and then suddenly I noticed, like, oh my god, I don't see them being annoying anymore. Mm-hmm. And then I went, and they deleted each other from Facebook. And I was like, oh my god, Andrew, what happened? And he has no idea what happened either. But then, like, a couple days later, I noticed they were Facebook friends again. And then yesterday, I noticed they're not anymore. And I'm like, what is happening with these adults? I just really want to know their story and their drama. Mm-hmm. And I'm just happy it's not my drama.
Exactly.
And that's how I feel about this show. I'm just like, I'm interested in getting all the tea. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, glad that's not me.
Yes. I think this is like the perfect length of show to like episode. Like,
yes.
Because it's like, you're not trying to draw it out. You're just giving us these like little nuggets. And I feel like this is how those stories tend to go. It's like, this person thinks one thing. This person hears this little nugget, and as time goes and more people hear more things, the story builds.
Exactly.
So then you're like, oh god, by the end of it. Yeah, I hope to never have a messy breakup.
No.
So, fingers crossed. Alex and I are both pretty chill, boring people, so I don't see us, like, breaking up. Hopefully not.
I don't either.
Anyway, well, guys, if this is your first time here, welcome. Again, I always say this, like, when it's in the middle of a season, like, interesting choice. But cool. If you could please subscribe to our podcast and rate and review it, that would be fabulous.
Very fabulous.
5 stars only, please. Nice comments. You can tweet us your breakup tea. Not necessarily your tea, but like any breakup tea you've heard. Some crazy breakup stories at okdramapod. Or email us okdramapodcast@gmail.com. And you can hang out with us on Instagram at okdramapodcast. And we have a Patreon where you get bonus episodes where you can hear me and Jill talk about Kim's Convenience. Jill and her boyfriend talk about Strangers from Hell and Sweet Home. And then me and cousin David, who is my boyfriend's cousin, talk about Sky Castle. And some other like fun movies thrown in there.
Yes.
And we have an Etsy where we sell cute stickers and pins and patches that are K-drama themed. I think I got all of it. And Daebak box and fashion Chingu. I always forget about those little babies, but they are fun, and it makes me smile whenever someone uses our link, and I'm like, it worked.
Someone clicked it.
Funny story, Daebak box related. So, you know how we were subscribing, and then, like, you know, we wanted to funnel our money in other ventures, so we stopped our Daebak box subscription. But then I got a Daebak box 2 days ago, and I was like, oh shit, did I misunderstand something? Like, what happened? And so I just opened it, and I was like, okay, whatever. And then my dad sent me a text, and he was like, did you get your birthday present? And I was like,
oh,
I don't think so. And I was like, where did it come from? Because he's like, I got a notification that it was delivered. And I was like, I didn't get anything. And then he was like, I was like, where'd it come from? He was like, it was supposed to be delivered by DHL. And I was like, oh, the Daebak box? And he was like, yes. And I was like, I thought that got delivered by accident, or like I accidentally bought it. He was like, you goober.
Oh,
like,
that's great.
How often do you get packages that you don't remember why you got them? And I was like, well,
it's
honestly,
complicated.
too often.
Well, what was in the box, though?
It's some fun stuff. There's some socks, a little tote bag, some snacks.
Cute.
Some skincare. Little clips. They're actually really cute. They have, like, little sprouts on them. So they're, like, little hair clips. Yeah, some other cute little things. I'm, like, very hesitant to use new skincare now, though, because I feel like I have finally found a routine that, like, just clicks and works. And most of it is from the same brand, from the same line, so it, like, makes it really easy. Yeah. It's not that exciting, but... So I'm not sure what to do with the skincare, if I should just, like, try it out. And that's the other thing, too, like, I don't know how easy it is to get those products again.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I was thinking of, like, donating it to the women's shelter. Options. I don't know, guys. Let me know. What do you think? But yeah, fun stuff. I highly recommend. And the cool thing about Daebak box is, like, you don't have to buy the whole box. They just sell stuff on their site. So yeah, that's it. That's where you can find us on the internet. All of our ventures. But yeah, Lovestruck in the City. 9 and 10.
Yes. I'm gonna let you start 9.
Okay.
Because that fucking bass is still blasting.
Okay.
And I'm hoping they'll fuck off by the time episode 10 starts.
Perfect. Okay. I believe Alex just left our house to get us food. Okay. So, all right. Episode 9, the title is, What If You Run Into Your Ex? This is like a nightmare. I hate running into people I know.
Let alone someone you know and don't like.
Did I tell you that I think my middle school kind of boyfriend, kind of not boyfriend, I think I saw him at Earthburger? I think I told you, right? Like, we were at Earthburger, and I think he was sitting at the table behind us.
I don't remember you telling me.
Okay, I maybe was just like, I'm just going to keep this a secret to myself. I don't know if it was him, because I try not to look at people. So I don't see someone that I know. But yeah, I was like, is that him? And he was like with, I guess, his girlfriend or whatever. Another woman. But I was like, this is very weird. So anyway, I think that might have happened at some point. Okay.
And you were just like, ugh.
Yeah, I'm just going to pretend.
Didn't approach.
Yeah, I'm just going to pretend this is not happening. I'm just going to talk to my boyfriend and my friends and eat some Earthburger.
I don't know this person.
Yeah, I do not recognize them. Anyway. Okay, so the synopsis says, at the police station, Jaewon discovers the truth in a world of hurt after reuniting with Sona, who reluctantly reveals her real name. I love a world of hurt. I mean, that is pretty accurate to what he's feeling. But, okay. So, the episode starts with Uno/Sona being arrested, but Jaewon insists on going with her and puts on one of the cuffs on his wrist. So, like, the police already have one cuff on her, so he takes the other one. So they're cuffed together. The police are like, what the fuck, dude? Is my job a joke? Yeah. And they're like, you've only been asking for this for, like, the past year. So anyway. Then we kind of, like, cut back to the producer, director guy, and he asks the participants what you would do if you ran into your ex. And they talk about, like, breakups, blah, blah, blah. But then we see a flashback of Jinyi getting mad at her ex-boyfriend when he shows up at the cafe that she's working at with his new girlfriend. And she's like, this motherfucker. So she goes up to their table and pretends that they're still dating and is like, you're cheating on me. Like, I guess I'll dump you, whatever. And then he, like, gets in trouble with his current girlfriend. And then he, like, confronts her, and she's like, you suck. Like, you never had the courage to break up with me, so whatever. Blah, blah, blah. Then we see that Sonyoung and Kanggun also met up recently, which I thought was kind of exciting. I like them together, but they're also just, like, frustrating, because she's a lot, and he, like, will not budge.
Yeah.
Okay, so it starts off nice. She's like weirdly chasing a student through the streets.
Oh yeah, and she like beats up that kid.
Yeah.
And then his parents like, oh, thank you so much.
She's like, just think twice about running away from home again. And I was like, Jesus. Okay, at least she cares. Question mark. So yeah, it's a nice dinner, but then they get drunk and they start to fight again. Basically, Sonyoung is still not comfortable with Kanggun's relationship with his two female besties, and he like refuses to answer her questions, which I find frustrating on both sides, because I can see his point of view where he's like, we've already been over this, so like I don't have feelings for them. But for her, it's like, okay, these are two, like, attractive women. He's been close to them for a long time. Like, he's a man. How could he not have some sort of feelings for them? And so at this point, they're just, like, at a stalemate. And he, you know, it's just not going to work out. So then they get kicked out of the bar.
I feel like also at that point, like, he's been friends with them for so long, and there's never been any instance of any of them dating.
Right.
Like, I think that can give you some kind of an idea here that...
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
I guess, like, they've been friends since they were children. But on the flip side, Kyungjun met Vinyi when they were in high school, which is not kindergarten.
Yeah.
He played the long game with her. So, anyway. It sucks. They just shouldn't be together, even if they have nice chemistry otherwise. Okay, then we finally get back to the good stuff. When this episode started, I was like, why are we talking about these people? I
don't care about them anymore.
Yeah, I want to get back to the police station. Okay, so Jaewon is, like, feeling bad for scaring Uno/Sona, because, like, one, it's kind of embarrassing that he, like, filed a report on her, and two, like, I'm sure that's not how he wanted their reuniting to happen. And so the police are like, no, dude, we have to write this report, because you reported her 6 times, and, like, we have the receipts, basically. And so then Uno's like, well, I think this is false because Jaewon gave me those cameras. I didn't steal them. And so then they're like, what? Like, a false report? And Jaewon's like, no! And so then everyone gets really frustrated. And Jaewon is like, what the fuck? But he doesn't want Uno to be in trouble, so he's like, okay, fine, let's just say I gave them to her. And, so they don't press charges. But they're like, okay, well, we still need to, like, have some paperwork because we brought you in here in cuffs. So, like, now we need to discharge you. So give us your ID. And then Uno's like, ooh, like, obviously she doesn't want Jaewon to find out about her identity, so she's, like, stalling. But then Jaewon grabs her, like, ID card before she can hand it to the cops. Because I think he initially wants to see where she lives. Because he's like, I've looked all around this area, but I can't find you. I can't find your name. And then he sees, like, she does live here, but that her name isn't Sona. And he starts to, like, freak the fuck out. And Uno's just, like, sitting there, like, shook. And the cops are like, what's happening? I love the cops who are like, is she a man?
Yeah.
Is she a man?
They're all in the background, like, looking at each other, like, what's happening? They're all excited about this drama.
I just loved it. Like, she's a man? Is she a man?
Miss, are you a man?
But yeah, Jaewon is just, like, so overwhelmed. He's like, I can't be here. I need to leave. And the cops are like, okay, we have your phone number. Like, you're free to go. So, I guess Uno finishes up her paperwork, and she runs after Jaewon, but Jaewon is, like, already in his car, and he kind of ignores her as she's running beside him. But he stops after she is, like, almost hit by a delivery bike. Which was, like, kind of intense. Yeah. And the guy's like, why'd you jump out in front of me?
I got food to deliver.
Yeah.
It was, fucking, what's her name from Coffee Prince?
The other
delivering food?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Unchan? Yeah. Okay, I think the ice cream truck might be driving around.
Oh my god.
Fun stuff. Living in a city, and we don't have soundproof walls. Mm-hmm. Okay.
We try our best.
Yeah. So she's almost hit by the bike. And so Jaewon stops because he loves this girl still, and he's just a good person that cares about people. So he stops the car to make sure that she's okay, and she's fine, but then she's, like, immediately starts apologizing and, like, tries to give the cameras back, which just pisses him off again. Because he's like, I don't fucking care about the cameras. Like, why'd you lie to me? And she can't think of anything to say, so she just stands there and cries, and then tries to give him the camera bag back, but he gets mad, so he throws the camera bag and, like, smashes the cameras, and he calls her a terrible woman. And he says he doesn't want to see the cameras anymore because he'll just think of her and get mad again. And then he takes off his wedding ring and throws it into the creek where they were supposed to meet. And he tells Uno he hopes he never sees her again. And he drives off. And I'm like, there's some closure, Jaewon.
Yeah, he let his emotions be known.
Yes. He got to tell his side of the story. So Uno then has a voiceover that says she just wanted to remain as Sona, because I think he also makes a comment about, like, you're not the same woman.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, Sona was so, like, bright and dazzling. And
you're, like, not her.
Yeah, so that was shitty. So then Uno goes and buys gear, like, fucking fishing gear or something, like overalls, in a light, and goes to the stream to search for Jaewon's ring. And as she bends over, a necklace falls, and we see that she still has her ring on a necklace and has presumably been wearing it, like, this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Uno is ecstatic when she finds the ring and doesn't even mind that a crowd has started to, like, watch her, which is very awkward. The police officers from before watch her, and they make a comment about how maybe they weren't supposed to write a report, and they were like, are we going to... I think, like, Minho, or the character Minho plays, his junior is like, are we going to get in trouble? And Minho's like, don't worry about it. It's fine. Like, I guess he was trying to, like, get these people together, probably because he's over Jaewon, like...
coming and crying.
Yes. So, report. So then the credits roll, and then we see that Jaewon also goes to the stream later to find the ring, but he can't. And he just complains about how cold the water is. So.
Yeah, at this point, I am just so over her character.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just like, just leave him alone.
Mm-hmm.
You told him, you've been telling him this whole time that you don't want to be with him. You stole his cameras, blah, blah, blah. Like, just leave the cameras at the police station and go home.
Yeah.
Because he told you he never wants to see you again. So, perfect. That's what you wanted. But now, suddenly, she's like, maybe I do want him?
Yeah.
And is just, like, running after him and searching for the ring and just, like, all this ridiculous stuff. And it's just, like, make up your damn mind.
Yeah. I was just feeling like maybe not seeing him for so long, kind of, she thought, like, she could get over him. But then when she saw him again, maybe she was like, I don't know.
But she saw him when he was drunk, too.
That's
when
true.
He was at his most vulnerable.
That's very
and
true.
And he laid it all out for her. And even then, she just fucking left him drunk as a skunk.
To like think you said. That he was crazy. That is something I will never get over. Like, you know this man is having, like, a psychological break, and you're still not...
You're hearing his cousin talk shit.
Yeah.
And his cousin's girlfriend. Like, you're hearing them all make jokes about him, knowing damn well that it's because of you.
Yeah, and that he has very little fault in this situation. Other than that he cared.
Honestly, yeah. Other than he was maybe a little too in love with her a little too quickly. And it was a little weird.
Yeah.
At the beach in some moments, but, like...
But she led him on.
She led him on.
And I don't like to say that because I feel like women get, like, a bad rap. Like, oh, she led him on just because, like, a woman was nice to a man.
Yeah.
But no, like, she actually...
We're seeing, like, that whole backstory.
Yes.
It wasn't
she actually led him on.
Yes, it wasn't like she was in a cute body-showing outfit and he tried to take advantage of her or something.
Yeah.
Like, no, she asked him to stay. She asked him to get married.
Yeah, she told him never ever take your ring off.
Like, oh my God.
Yeah, not a fan. But I, like, really love Jaewon.
Yeah,
he's a little much, but yeah, I'm like,
he loves really hard.
He loves really hard. Also, not to sound like a gold digger, but it kind of seems like Jaewon has some monies. Enough monies, anyway.
Absolutely.
And he has a cool job. He has a cool, like, traditional style apartment.
He has a cool job that could probably use her services.
Yeah.
As we're gonna see.
Yes. And, like, he says he's a catch, and I believe it.
I mean, just look at him.
Yeah. What a guy.
I don't know, man.
Me neither.
Let's hop into 10.
Yes.
All right. Title is Leo Uno. Exclamation.
Yes.
I messed up the second time I said it, so it kind of ruined it there, but whatever. Netflix says, Uno's emotional fallout puzzles Kangwon. Runi unleashes her fury on a man responsible for her friend's heartbreak and disappearance.
Yikes.
I wonder which friend. So, episode 10 starts with Uno trying to get her surfboard back. And I feel bad for this man. Again, she's like a little shithead.
Yeah.
Like, she gave him the fucking surfboard. And now she's bothering him at work, harassing him, essentially.
Uh-huh.
Trying to get this fucking board back and telling him all this shit about her and Jaewon. And the guy's like, you gave it to me. And I'm supposed to use it this weekend with my girlfriend.
Yeah.
I don't care that y'all painted it. It's the date that y'all kissed. Like, this is mine now.
Yeah.
But she goes on and on and on about everything. And I think he's, like, a little bit scared of her at this point. Because she looks crazy. And then at one point she's like, do I look crazy? Am I crazy?
Yeah. Because she, like, approaches him in the bathroom, too.
Yeah.
Or, like, right outside the bathroom. He's like,
I just think it's, like, so selfish to just decide to give something away and then be like, I can take it back anytime.
Yeah, I feel like she's pretty self-centered in that way.
Mm-hmm. And especially considering this was a fucking stranger. This wasn't even like, if I gave you something and then I was like, Kaitlin, that was fucking stupid of me. Can I please have it back?
Yeah.
Like, no, this is her going up to a random fucking dude.
Yeah, and he was like, if you were going to throw it away. If you had thrown it away, you were definitely not getting it back. And she was like, I know, but I didn't throw it away. Ugh. So annoying.
I just don't like that.
No, I know.
All right, so Jaewon, poor little dude, is still depressed about everything that happened. And he reveals that he wanted Uno/Sona to run into his arms like she did the last time when she chased after him. Mm-hmm. And he was ready for it. And he was saying, like, if she does that, like, no questions asked, nothing, you know, like, I'm just gonna hug her.
Mm-hmm.
But then she tried to apologize and return his cameras, and it just made him really angry and threw him off, and he feels a little bad for how he reacted.
Yeah, I think he's, like, it kind of brought him back to reality. Like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, well, if she runs into my arms, then, like, we're still in love, and it's fine.
Yes.
But, like, no.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's very uncomfortable. That's a very uncomfortable scene.
Yes.
It's like, just leave the cameras at the police station. That's all I gotta say. Don't chase him to try to give them to him.
Yeah, I know. And, like, if you know that Jaewon is Kyungjun's cousin,
Yeah.
then, like, you can even be, like, super sly and be like, I hear you have a cousin, like, you want to set me up or something? Like, if you really wanted to, like, get in touch with him, like, you could have, she didn't have to chase after him after he's, like, very upset and, like...
And she knows that.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think she's, like, not very considerate and just, like, does whatever she thinks is right in the moment. Agreed. And doesn't really think.
So, I guess Jaewon calls in sick from work that day, and he is home alone, wallowing, and Kyungjun visits, and he brings him some soup, and Kyungjun is shocked when he hears that Jaewon actually caught the camera thief. And Jaewon doesn't really want to talk about anything, but Kyungjun keeps pestering him. So Jaewon eventually reveals that everything was a lie, her name was fake, everything she said was fake, her look was fake, like all of it. And Kyungjun is like fucking shook. He's like, what was her name? But Jaewon can't remember it for some dumb reason.
I know. I
feel like I would have been repeating it over and over again. I would have fucking searched Instagram to try to find her.
Yes, 100%.
I would have stalked all night long while crying.
While crying.
Anyway, so cut to Uno. She is with her friends, and they're all talking about this camera thief story. And Uno gets annoyed because they start talking shit about this girl and saying that, like, she should have been thrown in jail, blah, 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 because they don't know she's the camera thief.
Yes.
And, oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, I love how the producers or director or writers or whatever were, like, spill the tea to everyone, like, you know, Jaewon caught the camera thief, right?
Yeah.
And
Uno's to get her reaction.
Uno's like, ugh, please don't talk about this.
My God. So weird. Such a weird setup.
I know.
They ask Jaewon if he wants to send her a video message, and Kyungjun is like, don't fucking do it. Don't say anything. But Jaewon just says he can't forgive her right now, but he apologizes for calling her a horrible woman and for smashing the cameras in front of her, and he feels like he scared her, and he's sorry that he did that. And then Uno, of course, sees the message, and she starts to feel really sad and even more down than she was. And then she starts grieving over the next few days, and Kangyeon is very confused as to what's happening. She's just constantly crying. And like
telling her, or calling herself a bad woman in the mirror.
Yes, and saying that she's gonna, like, I forget what the fuck she told herself. Basically, like, you're gonna feel like shit forever.
Oh, yeah.
You deserve it.
You're gonna pay for it.
Yes. And so he's just like, what the fuck is going on, man? What's happening? And then he suggests to Reni and Kyungjun to try to help find her some new projects for her work, because he sees that she has all these proposals and nothing's happening with them. And he's like, I think all she has is work. And I feel bad for her. And so Kyungjun kind of brings it up to Jaewon, but it's kind of just like a flippant thing. And nothing really comes of it at this point. But then Jaewon and Kyungjun are supposed to have a client meeting on a Saturday. So Reni stops by to have lunch. And the first person to arrive is this woman, and she's very pretty, and she's in the elevator with Reni. And then they see a picture of the woman with her baby, and they're, like, making cute small talk about the kid, blah, blah, blah. It's 9 months, yada, yada, whatever. And then the husband arrives, and the husband sees Kyungjun, and it's very awkward suddenly, and it's like, okay, did they date the same person at some point?
Yeah.
Like, what's happening here?
Or I was thinking, like, he dated Rini or something.
Yeah,
like
that's at first what I thought. And then Rini is also making eyes and just, like, looks fucking pissed off as hell. Mm-hmm. And Jaewon doesn't know who this man is. And Jaewon's like, oh, cool, y'all know each other. Did y'all go to school together? Or blah, blah, blah. Like, what's going on?
I'm like, read the room, Jaewon.
Yeah, no one is comfortable. And then Rini just walks up to this guy, slaps him, and starts yelling at the couple about how they are terrible and how Uno was supposed to marry him, but he cheated. And, oh my gosh, you have a kid that's 9 months old? How can your kid be 9 months old when you were supposed to marry my friend?
Yeah, and like 6 months ago.
Yeah, she's just like fucking going off on this guy. Jaewon is like, what the fuck is happening? And then Rini blames the couple for Uno's mysterious disappearance. And then the man gets frustrated. He fucking pushes Rini and she falls on the floor. And then the camera cuts to Kyungjun, who's just like pissed as hell. He punches the guy. And then Rini gets a Coke and sprays it all over the couple. And it's flying on Jaewon too. And he's just standing there like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I feel so bad for him.
Why is this my life? What the fuck, man? Like, terrible for Jaewon.
Damn it.
His days just keep getting worse. Then we're also at this point cutting to Uno, who is still a mess, still crying. She's like watching a movie with Kyungjun and she's crying, eating pizza and crying. So ridiculous. Then we see Jaewon yelling at Kyungjun for punching the client, and Rini's on the floor just like screaming about the situation and crying. Very emotional. And then Jaewon goes back to his office and he finds Uno's business card on the floor that fell out of the proposal. And then he like notices the name and he flashes back to the ID and he's like, no, that can't be Sona.
Yeah.
And then he remembers what Rini said about her friend disappearing for 3 months. And then he's like, no, that can't be Sona. And then he looks at the address and he remembers hers from the card. And then there's a phone number on her proposal. So he calls. God damn it, Edie. So he calls, and who answers but Uno/Sona. But not only that, he hears her arguing with Kanggon. And then he's like, she's dating someone.
There's another man.
She's living with a man. And then at that point, Kangyeon sees Uno's necklace with the rings on him, and he's like, hey, what's that necklace? Those are rings. And then that's it.
I'm very excited to watch the next 2 episodes.
Yes, definitely.
I am assuming they're going to meet up again.
Absolutely. And, I mean, on this episode, I can totally understand her heartbreak and her wanting to just disappear. Like, fine, whatever. But if you really felt a connection with this person, that's okay.
Yeah,
like...
Again, like, I want... Because she keeps saying, like, oh, she has, like, such a terrible past. And I'm like, okay, but... what? I feel like it has to be more than, like, she was so heartbroken by her breakup with her fiancé that she ran away to the beach and tried, like, a beach lifestyle. For 3 months. Like, it has to be more than that. Because if it's not more than that, then that's, like, fucking stupid. And I hate her.
At this point, like, your life isn't the most terrible thing in the world. You just almost married a total shithead. And thankfully you didn't.
You dodged a bullet.
Yeah. And I'm sure it, like, really fucking sucks, but you go to this place just expecting to be away from people, you know, and, like, live a different life for a while. And then you meet an amazing person.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's awesome. That's great.
Yeah, what's the problem?
You don't have to run away to go back to your quote-unquote normal life. Like, he's in that normal life, too.
Yeah. And I think I said this in another episode, but I really just feel like she should have done, like, a little sidebar with Jaewon and been like, look, I kind of had my beach alter ego going. I actually am very close friends with your cousin, so it would mean a lot to me if you didn't bring up my beach persona in front of your cousin. Like, if that's what it is, like, I feel like there has to be something more, but, like, that wouldn't have been that hard, and, like, clearly Jaewon is, like, so in love with her that he would do anything she says. So.
And also, I think I said this before, too, but, like, when you're on holiday, when you're on vacation, like, you're always a little different.
Yeah.
You know, like, you're a little bit more free, you're having some more fun.
Yeah.
You're maybe dressed slightly different depending on where you're fucking visiting. And if you're at a beach, you're going to be in beachwear all the time. Like, living your best beachy life. Like, I just don't get it.
I know. I'm like, something else terrible must have happened to her.
Did she murder someone?
What happened to Uno? Yeah.
So weird.
I know. I was, like, kind of freaking out when Rinyi was like, my friend! And then she, like, fucking went nuts. Like, I don't think I would ever do that. Like, I don't know. I feel like if I saw a terrible ex of one of my friends, I would just be like, this motherfucker. Like, just under my breath.
Yes, and just be like, ugh.
Yeah, I just be like,
paying attention to you.
Yeah, side eye. And then just be like, oh wow, your baby's really cute. You know what I mean. Like, yes. I don't know, but I would never hit them or spray them with Coke. I don't know.
I don't want to get in trouble, y'all.
Yeah, I'm not about to be sued by these, like, obviously very wealthy people.
Yes.
Who are, like, hiring an architect to redo their house.
Yeah.
Like,
oof.
And Rinyi does not appear to have that much money.
No.
So.
Definitely not. But anyway. I guess that couple was just too embarrassed.
Maybe.
To do or say anything, you know, like.
Yeah.
We picked the wrong law firm. Or wrong architect firm.
Yeah. Awkward. But. They're just crazy. I don't know. I was just like, this is a crazy group of friends. It's too much. Okay. Do we have any other predictions? I'm just trying to figure out how Jaewon and Uno are gonna meet up again. Like, is she going to try to initiate, or is he, or...
I wonder if he's going to try to secretly hire her. Pretending that he doesn't know who it's going to be.
That seems smart. I also feel like he's pretty nosy and might be like, so, like, what happened to that friend?
Yeah. So you can know more of the story.
Yeah. Because he was being, like, a little creep at the beach when she kept, like, talking to other guys.
Yes.
So. I don't know. I feel like that's in play. But.
Yeah, and they would easily tell him, too, because he just witnessed them fight with this random couple that was supposed to be their client.
Yeah, totally.
So they kind of owe it to him to give him some sort of an explanation.
Yeah.
As to the behavior.
I'm so excited.
So wild.
I just want to hear more story. More chisme. And see where the other two couples kind of end up. Because, like, I care about them. I don't care about them as much because they're not as interesting. But I still care.
Yeah, the other girl's just a little too mean.
Uh-huh.
She's always dressed really cool, but she's a little too mean. And
yes.
It's a lot of personality for me.
This is true. And I feel like Kangwon seems chill enough to, like, kind of balance her out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So they would be a good couple if, like... But, you know, maybe she'll see if, like, Jaewon and Uno start dating again. Maybe she'll finally feel comfortable enough.
Yeah.
Because she said that she didn't feel as threatened by Rinyi because she was in a long-term relationship.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So. Oh, and we also found out that it's been, like, a little over a year since the beach stuff. They mentioned that at some point.
Okay, yeah.
I think when he's yelling at her, he says something like, I stayed wearing this ring or something for over a year, blah, 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 because you told me to keep it on, whatever.
That's right. When I saw that, I was like, that's too long.
3 months and it's done.
Yeah. But, you know, I was thinking, because he's like, do you know how worried I was? Because I was thinking, like, oh, yeah, I wonder if I'm sure the thought crossed his mind, like, oh, no, she left him a voicemail. But, yeah, like, what if she died? Like, what if something bad happened to her? Why can't I find her? Yeah. I don't know.
So weird. So crazy.
Very weird. Very
What
crazy.
A crazy story.
I know. I love it. I mean, I wouldn't say this is, like, one of my favorite all-time dramas because it's, like, a fairly simple concept. But I just really love the actors and the couple storyline is gripping.
Yeah.
So
crazy.
Okay. Do we have any fashion?
Jaewon was wearing like a sort of like a plaid, but not really.
Oh, yes, like a houndstooth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a tan jacket, kind of long. That was nice.
I love that. They were like, why are we up here? And he was like, I wanted to look mysterious. They were like, it's just really cold on this bridge. Yeah, that was good. I think Kyungjun also had like a nice coat. You know, we love those Korean coats. Also, Sonyoung, when she was chasing that boy.
Oh yeah, her all tan outfit.
Yeah,
that was very cute.
I feel like, okay, this is mean, but I felt like Rinny is a cute person. But then when she stood next to the woman client, I feel like you could really tell, like, oh, like, she's a different kind of cute than this, like, very classically,
like,
beautiful,
that was a woman.
Put together woman, yeah, and Rinny was, like, still kind of kiddish, and...
Yes, definitely.
It was just like, ooh. Also, she kind of had, like, the big head, small body thing going on.
Yes, and her hair just looked, like, kind of disheveled. And she's wearing, like, oversized, super comfy clothes. Yeah. Those kind of, like, granny sweaters. Yeah, it makes her look like a little kid. Yeah. So, I was like, that was an interesting shot. Do we have an I love you? I don't, because I felt like everything was kind of sad.
Yeah, this is not an I love you, but I did not write this down. When freaking Uno is, like, telling Jaewon, like, let's do it on top of the camper.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, girl, just out in the open air. Okay. Again, she's just, like, being crazy. But, yeah, no, I mean, I guess when she was, like, looking for the ring, I thought that was, like, oh, she really does care. But, again, I was, like, still mad at her, like, you're so frustrating.
A little too late, Sona.
Yeah. And then, like, when Kangwon and Sonyoung were, like, talking again, I was like, that's nice. But then, you know, it just went off the rails, so.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Those are my two, like, little minis. Okay. Do we have anything else?
Just again, rate and review, and watch episodes 11 and 12.
We're, like,
before next week.
Almost done, kind of.
Yeah.
Like 3 more weeks.
Yeah. Pretty crazy.
I know. Okay. Yes. I'm very excited. Let us know what you guys think on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and email. And we will talk to you guys next time.
Goodbye.
Bye.